You can find the perfect business, great industry, strong financials, reasonable valuation, and still lose money. How? Bad management. The people running a company make decisions every day that either compound your returns or destroy them. Capital allocation, executive compensation, strategic vision, honesty with shareholders. These things matter enormously, and most retail investors never properly evaluate them. Today I'm going to show you how to assess management quality using AI. Welcome to the AI portfolio. Every week I show everyday investors how to use AI tools to research stocks smarter and faster. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing here is financial advice. And you should always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Great businesses with bad management underperform. AI helps you see past the PR and evaluate what actually matters. Most investors spend all their time analyzing financial statements and almost none evaluating the people behind them. That's a mistake. Management quality shows up in three ways that directly affect your returns. First, capital allocation, how executives deploy the cash the business generates. Do they buy back stock intelligently, make smart acquisitions, or waste capital on empire building? Second, integrity. Do they communicate honestly with shareholders, or do they obscure bad news with jargon and adjustments? Third, execution. Do they set realistic goals and hit them, or does the guidance always get walked back? The best investors in the world, Buffett, Munger, Lynch, all say the same thing. Bet on management you trust. These are the 5 signals that separate great management from average management. First, track record. What have they actually delivered over 5 and 10 years in terms of revenue growth, margins, and returns on capital? Second, compensation structure. Are executives paid on metrics that align with shareholders, or are the bonuses easy to hit regardless of stock performance? Third, capital allocation history. Have they made good acquisitions? Have buybacks been done at reasonable prices? Have they avoided value-destroying deals? Fourth, shareholder communication. Do earnings, calls, and letters read like honest assessments or like marketing? Fifth, insider ownership. Do they have meaningful skin in the game? Here's prompt 1, the track record analysis. Analyze the management track record of company, specifically CEO name and the current leadership team. Over the past 5 to 10 years, how has the company performed on revenue growth, operating margin expansion, return on invested capital, and earnings per share growth? Have they consistently met or exceeded their own guidance? What is their reputation among analysts and long-term institutional investors? Summarize their key strategic decisions and whether those decisions created or destroyed shareholder value. This gives you an objective performance review, the kind a board of directors should be doing. Prompt 2 digs into how management is paid because incentives drive behavior. Analyze the executive compensation structure for company. What are the primary metrics used to determine annual bonuses and long-term incentive payouts? Are these metrics aligned with long-term shareholder value, or are they easy to manipulate? How does total compensation compare to peers in the same industry? Has the company used adjusted or non-GAAP metrics that make performance look better than it actually is? Are there any red flags in the proxy statement that suggest pay-for-performance alignment is weak? How executives get paid tells you more about future behavior than almost any other signal. Prompt 3 evaluates how they've used the company's cash. Analyze the capital allocation history of company over the past 5 to 10 years. Specifically, how much free cash flow has been generated and how has it been deployed between reinvestment in the business, acquisitions, share buybacks, and dividends? Have acquisitions been accretive or destructive to shareholder value? Have buybacks been done at intelligent prices, buying more when the stock was cheap and less when it was expensive? What does the balance sheet look like today as a result of their capital allocation decisions? Rate their capital allocation track record and explain your reasoning. Capital allocation is where most management teams quietly destroy value over time. Here's the workflow. Before initiating any new position, run all 3 prompts. Prompt 1 gives you the performance history. What have they actually delivered? Prompt 2 tells you what they're incentivized to deliver going forward. Prompt 3 shows you whether they're good stewards of the cash the business generates. Look for consistency across all 3. Great management teams tend to have strong track records, well-aligned compensation, and a history of intelligent capital deployment. When 2 out of 3 are weak, that's a yellow flag. When all 3 are weak, pass, no matter how good the business looks on paper. 3 mistakes to avoid. First, confusing charisma with competence. The best sounding CEOs on earnings calls are not always the best operators. Evaluate the numbers, not the narrative. Second, ignoring compensation structure. A CEO paid primarily on revenue growth will grow revenue, even if it destroys margins. Always check what they're actually being paid to do. Third, overlooking the long-term capital record. One bad acquisition can erase years of operational excellence. Look at the full picture over 5 to 10 years, not just the last 12 months. Your homework this week. Pick one company in your portfolio and run all 3 prompts. You might be surprised by what you find. Either increased conviction or a reason to look more carefully before adding to your position. Management quality compounds quietly in both directions. The best businesses in the world become even better with great management. The worst situations often come down to one root cause: the wrong people in charge. That's it for episode 24. Subscribe for a new video every week on AI and investing in plain English. See you next time.